Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm actually going to do my nails and I'm going to use CJP. I'm using Slush Fairy and coconut milk. Two I have not used before. I know, it's been a long time since I've done my nails. My nails are pretty shot. I don't know quite what happened with the polygel, but I had a bit of an incident. And I mean, you saw me do the polygel and you saw me cure it between each layer and it all looked cured. It should have been fine. Look, you can see it on that index finger there. But it wasn't. It wasn't cured in the middle of it, apparently. So when I didn't have them on that long, actually, only about a week, maybe? Not even sure. It was quite a while ago now. But yeah, I suddenly discovered that they were not cured in the centre, which is really, really odd. And I've kind of had a little bit of reaction to it because all of a sudden, like my nails ended up with, I can't even really describe it. They were really weak and they were really kind of, yeah, look, I mean, the index finger says it all. They were all just crap. So I've had them short and I've had just gel polish over the top. Because if I leave my natural nails, because, you know, when you get this, you are supposed to just file them down really short and leave it to grow out. Okay, that's never going to happen because I'm a nail biter. If I do not have something on my nails, I will eat them and I will make that even worse. Okay, so that's why I put gel polish on it. So I've just dehydrated my nails. I have just put my acid-free primer on. I've already done my cuticle prep and buffed is the wrong word. I've etched those nails ready to put on. I wasn't rough with it, let's put it that way. I etched very gently. And so I thought, right, I'm going to put an acrylic overlay on these. That's what we're doing. Because originally I was going to put tips on and I was going to have long and it was going to be amazing. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do my nails. And then I took my gel polish off and went, no, I'm not going to do that. Because all that's going to do, adding more length to this, is put more pressure on my natural nail. And I was like, no, that's not what we want to do here, people, because these nails need to recover. The problem with gel is that when your nails get longer and your nail flexes, you know, so what I mean is, so like, you know, when you pull up your trousers, right? And we all do it. We all clench our fist as we pull up. It bends the nail and therefore it cracks the gel. And then the problem is as soon as it does, and I mean, it takes weeks before that happens with me. I'm not going to, you know, it's not like the next day. It's like, woo, there we go. You know, it's generally getting towards the point where I need to fill them anyway. And then I start picking. So it's like, right, I'm going to have some acrylics because I want acrylics. My nails are generally fine with acrylics. I don't have a problem. I want to try CJP because my sister's reacting really well to it. Reacting, that's the wrong word. So normally we have to use Max Adhesion by Neo Nails. We have to still prime her nails. She's not gentle, and she freely admits the fact she is not gentle. We've been using CJP on her for a good few months now, and it's going really well, actually. Since we've taken down her length and we've changed her shape, we've had a lot less problems, and it's definitely working a lot better. So we haven't really had any problems with this CJP. This is all good. Because as we know, I want to swap to just having one brand. Because I have colours from Moira. I have my core powders from Neo. I've got some for CJP. But I didn't get on with the one monomer, which is the one everybody loves from CJP. But it just didn't work with me. So I'm using their basically version of Max Adhesion to see how that goes. Now, I am adding a little bit of length on the end. So as I'm pulling this out, I'm just adding a little bit The reason being is my nails are not a good shape either. So I just want a little bit of extra product just to file these better. So I have some form of shaping going on with them. Coconut milk, I found it was not the easiest one to work with. And I think because I wasn't necessarily using it as a white and I wasn't necessarily using it, though it was a core, I was somewhere in between. And I wasn't quite getting it right. So if you're looking at this and going, my God, what are you doing? This is why. Because it's a white, okay, but it's more like a natural white. So if you wanted to just do a classic pink and white overlay over natural nails, and, you know, they just want it to look very natural, that is what I would use. Personally, I don't like it. I like when I do an ombre, I want to see the pop of white, which I don't get with this. So lots of people have said that it doesn't work the same way as a white, you know, because when you do white acrylic, you have to do it completely differently, okay? It is a complete beast. They all are. It doesn't matter what brand you use. They are all a beast, and you just have to work with them completely differently to how you do everything else. So normally what I do when I pick up a white is I will pick up my bead as though it's a normal core powder, so normal ratio that I would use for the core powder. But then I leave it on my brush until it starts to... So when you pick up a bead, it kind of looks almost like an orange peel. Okay, and then, so what I do is I leave it on my brush until it goes smooth. Okay, then I place it on my nail. I then clean my brush and leave it for a little bit just so it starts to polymerize. Then I go back in and work it. Because if you go in too quick, as you're currently seeing with this, it all gets stuck on your brush and it just creates a big bloody mess. All right. Now, coconut milk is a lovely colour. Okay, there is nothing wrong with this colour. I have quite dark white bits for my nails. You know, my free edge is not a light colour. So it did take a lot more work and to ombre it as well. Now, I'm not sure if that's because I was just using it completely wrong. And I should have used it as though I was dealing with a white. But I did have to keep coming back and adding a bit more. You see, now, and I don't know if it's me, but if you look at my pinky there, right, as it's starting to set, the colour changes. So where it's wet on my middle finger, you see it's quite bright. But on my pinky, it's kind of gone to a really off-white. Right, which is fine. Like I say, and that's why I say it works really well as a natural white. Okay, but I don't like that. So I was trying to build up some more colour here. But if you like that, you could have just left it be. Okay. So I wasn't off to the greatest start on this one. It wasn't a nightmare though. It wasn't, you know, I wasn't tearing my hair out and screaming or whatever else. That comes next when I try and use Slush Fairy, which did not work at all like a core powder. Now, before we get to this fun of Slush Fairy, today, the day this was filmed, okay, it was it Easter Friday? Either Easter Friday or Saturday. Now, it's quite hot, actually, today. My monomer has not been cooled. I am using this at room temperature in my room in the afternoon. All right. So, under normal circumstances, these core powders should be being an absolute pain in the ass. They should be setting too quick. I should be, fighting a rigid bead, or more rigid bead. And I don't, right? Slush Fairy, Now, I am using the exact same ratio that I use for every other core powder. So if you saw my video the other week where I was doing my sister's nails, I am using exactly the same ratio that I was using for Fantasy as I am now using for Slush Fairy, right? No difference whatsoever. I do exactly the same. Pick up my bead, put it down, go clean my brush, come back, start to work the bead. And every time, it's running away from me. Right? So, and you can see my brush is starting to stick, so I'm going to what was I going to say? Yeah, I'm cleaning my brush. That's what I was doing. And it's a fight. I mean, it is an absolute fight, and I just don't understand why. Because like I say, I should have been having the complete opposite problem given the temperature of the room, right? This should have been setting up too quick on me, not setting up really slow. Because they tell me, Slush Fairy is a core powder, but it doesn't work that way. Oh, it sure as hell didn't for me. If anybody else has used Slush Fairy and you want to give me some tips here, brilliant, because this drove me nuts. All right, I should have been, so for this length of nail, I should have been able to do this in one, maximum 2 beads. All right, in the end, I had to do it as a 3 bead method, and even then, so smaller beads, so that I can control it better. And even then, it fought me. Trying to do this left-handed as well. Honest to God, I nearly lost the will to live by the end of it. I mean, they look amazing, but it didn't work properly. So not what I wanted for the set where I'm coming back to doing my own nails, which is always an interesting thing to do because it takes forever. I'm trying to film it for you guys as well. I mean, huzzah, I'm in shot. Woo! What I did, I raised up my camera so you've got more of my desk space, so in the hope that no matter what I did with my hand, you would find me. So I'm trying to ombre it over, and it did work better in the smaller beads. As you can see there, trying to ombre it, it was fine, but trying to do a full nail of it, it did not want to do so. It is also rather translucent. Translucent or opaque? Which one? Translucent, yes. I always get them wrong. I don't know why, but I think they should be the opposite way around in the words. But yeah, translucent. So it doesn't cover as well as a normal cover powder. See what I mean? In the end, I even went for a drier bead and it still ran away with me. Even just what I'm getting irritated just watching this. It drove me bonkers. There was a point where I was like going, there's a file. It doesn't matter. There is a file. But it just shouldn't have done. I don't know if it's because it's got glitter in it. Because normally, see, I wouldn't have viewed this as a core powder. I would have viewed it as though it was a colour. And I would have done it very differently. And I did try to then use it as though it was a more of a colour. But even then, it still didn't play ball. Once it started to polymerise and it's set up, you can see I'm working it better now. It is doing what I want it to do. Okay, we did get there with it. But I do not understand why it ran away when I first put it down. When, like I say, I haven't done anything different to how I would pick up Fantasy or Birthday Suit or Cherry Blossom or any of the others. Normally the only core powder that you have to change how you work with it is a white. which I have just described. I'm going to get off my high horse because I'm going to start irritating everybody because I'm going to... So, what I did, I went back and I didn't try to add, all of my apex and everything like that with Slush Fairy. I gave up with it. I just got the coverage and then I came in with clear and I did it that way because I needed to cap over where the ombre is anyway. But you see, when I placed the bead down, it didn't seem to move. And it was, we're like going, okay, that's fine. That one's staying put. And then it's like the air got to it and it just like, whoop, there it goes. Yeah. Now at this point, I think that was the one where I used a dry bead. And there's one of them, you actually see, God, I could have, if I'd done that with any other core powder, it would have been so dry I wouldn't have been able to use it. Or I could have sculpted flowers out of it or some such, Anyway, right, I'm going to just... Deep breaths. I've actually got an eye twitch going on now because I'm watching this back and I'm like... But you can see what I mean about the fact that the coverage is not... Because you can see the white of my nail underneath that core powder. But it's all right, people. It's all right because... we're going to sort it out, okay? I don't know what I'm doing at the moment. I'm doing something. What am I doing? Yeah, I just recorded this in one foul swoop. Oh, it's coffee. My husband has just handed me coffee and I've just moved it so it's not next to my hand that is moving constantly because I'm going to knock that flying. Now you see how dry that bead is. Okay. Now at this point, I was like, so long as I get the cuticle nice, I don't care about everything else. But what I did just notice then, when I watched that, I put the bead down, I didn't go wipe my brush, which is what I normally do. So I did just then tap it again and put more liquid in it. Bad Shona. Which is the whole point of doing these videos, because you cannot see what you're doing. And I know that sounds stupid because you're looking at it and you're doing it yourself. But when I come back a couple of weeks later to do the voiceover this, I am watching myself as though I am watching somebody else on a YouTube video. And I get to see what I am doing. Now, that bead behaved a lot better and it was a much drier bead. So I think if I hadn't have made that little mistake and I had wiped my brush at that point, I don't know why I didn't. I probably got distracted whilst I was doing it. I don't know, but because normally it's an automatic for me. Put the bead down, wipe my brush. But that did play ball. So Slush Fairy, you need to go drier. But again, I still don't class it as a... It is pretty, I'm not going to lie, it is pretty, but it wasn't worth the hassle. It really wasn't. Oh yeah, do you like my duck that I'm making here? Yeah, this shape's beautiful, I made a duck. By the time I patted this out, because you see, I'm keeping it really nice and thin. You know, I don't want it... And yeah, look how wide that goes. It's a full-on flipper. It's brilliant. I am going to file that into shape and sort that out. In fact, I'm not going to lie here. The shaping of these was not my... Yeah, they're all right. But, you know, you like going... I've given up at this point. I've had enough. We haven't even got to the stamping, which thankfully the stamping, it goes brilliant. It gives me no trouble whatsoever. And I'm even going to come in and put some crystals on as well. I know, you are properly spoilt. Because I owe you quite a few videos of me doing my own nails. There we go. Yeah, I'm just adding a bit because the colour just wasn't quite there. We're going to sort that out. I mean, we do have a bit of apex in there. It's not horrific. But I'm like I say, I've lost the will to live at this point, and I will just sort these out with a file. I will cap them, and just all will be well very shortly. Just realised I'm sat at my desk doing this, and there's a ticking clock. I do apologise if you can hear the ticking clock, because I know that it drives me nuts, so I'm sorry. Yeah. If you want a natural French with a bit of sparkle, then these two are perfect. Right, I'm going to come back in a minute when we get to the stamping part. Oh, well, you know, it looks like I actually put some filing in here as well for you. I know. Aren't you lucky? I've run out of words to say. I've just irritated myself so much with this. This is the last voiceover I've got. It's the last video I'm doing for the month of May. So I just want to get it done, get it uploaded, and move on to other things so I can start doing the next videos. I've just finished a paint by numbers that has, a lot of my time has gone on with that because I was doing it for a friend and I got her birthday completely the wrong month. So yeah, I've had to rush to get that one done, which it is. I've just got to frame it and seal it, and then it's all good, which is great because her birthday is next week. And then, so that frees me up then to do some more nail time. And I've got my sister this weekend as well, so I need to do some nail practice before she comes. There we go. Right, I'm not going to show you the rest. We're going to move on. So I filed all of those. Yay! Look at that. The duck's gone. Wah, wah. So now we are going to do some stamping to get rid of all the dust. I'm using the Bruttee stamping polish. I'm using a Bruttee stamping plate. And I am using my clear jelly stamper to stamp this. And I've just cleaned my plate with some acetone before we start. Yes, some people use isopropyl alcohol. I find it doesn't work at all, and I'm just going to stick with acetone. But I do love my clear jelly stamper, which is brilliant. Do not clean that with acetone though. No. I have a sticky pad next to me, which is what I use to clean it. And look, we're just going to make some little pretties. Yay! And like I say, these gave me no hassle whatsoever, which was a good thing, because if my stamping had then decided that it was going to be one of those, because we all know what it's like, it will go one way or the other way. But today it went the right way, because if it hadn't, I would have just thrown it across the room and literally had a tantrum. Then we're going to put a different one just on that one. And then what I will do, I will base coat over the top of those before coming in to top coat them. I say I'm just going to get some acetone on my lint-free wipe there and just clean off around the sides. Lovely. And then we're not finished there. I am going to come along and do some crystals. I am using Swarovskis, and yes, I know, but I have a load of Swarovskis to use, so those are the ones that I just happen to be using. You cannot get these anymore because they're poop heads, and have decided to be real poop heads to everybody and not let any of us have their crystals anymore, so poop to them. But I've got these and I'm going to use them up because, I need to use them up. So, I am going to use Chi Gel. And, I'm just going to let you watch this bit, to be honest. This is all, like I say, all in real time. I've just left it. No, there's no editing going on whatsoever. I've literally just gone, this is what I'm doing. Here you go. I can't remember who it was who said they liked this, but there you go. You asked, I have fulfilled. As you can tell, I haven't done my other hand at this point. I was like, where's it gone? I've got a crystal somewhere. It disappeared on me. Yeah, it gone up my nail. It's like, there it is. Right. Chi Gel time. I'll let you watch this. So I'm just going to finish off the crystals on this one, and then off camera actually, I do the base coat and the top coat on the other nails, but there is a reveal shot for you at the end. And that's it for this video. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I will be back for an infill and redesign of these at some point, once I've decided what on earth I'm going to do next and when I get some time to do them. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.